So I'm on a call with Tom, and we're just having a conversation. And one of the biggest challenges that come up for most people, whether they're in coaching or whether they're in business or whether, as long as they provide a product or a service, there is always this challenge that comes up. So I thought we would shoot you a quick video and show you what this challenge is. Now, if we were to look at business or success, for example, and we were to base it off a mountain, Tom, have you ever noticed how there's different levels? People are at different spots within their business, different sets within their success. You've noticed that, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. But if we were to nail this down, you have people who are on the top of the mountain, right? These are your, I guess this would be like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, who are at the top of the world. And you also have people who are way down here at the very, very bottom, who are looking up, right? Have you ever seen someone talk in terms of, they're looking up the mountain from down here to up here, and they're looking, wow, that is amazing. That person's phenomenal. I could never do that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they're so far away, it almost becomes unrelatable.
Exactly. That's a perfect word. I'd agree. And with your clients and with the business professionals that you work with, have you ever had someone that because it was such a big distance to what you were trying to help, you knew they could do it. You knew you could help them. You knew you could get them the results. But because it seemed like such a drastic jump for them, it was they couldn't relate with it. Have you ever had that with your clients?
Yes. I think that idea of starting a business scares people.
You see it all the time, right? It's like one of the biggest killers of people ever starting to go up the mountain in the first place. So one of the things I've noticed, and I find this helps to show this, at least from my experience, I show this to my clients because it's very, very important for them to get clear where on the mountain they are. Because just because you have the top of the top on top of the mountain, and you have the beginners or the dreamers or the ones who are about to make that commitment at the bottom of the mountain, there are still people at different levels throughout the mountain. Let's say we had someone here about here who's almost up the mountain, and you have someone who's closer to actually we'll use a different color for that one, someone who's closer to the bottom of the mountain, right? Well, if we call these people at the very, very top, we'll just put TL for thought leaders, right? The thought leaders in their industry, or the thought leaders within their expertise. And you put the middle here with the master business owners, and let's say going down with the solopreneurs, and the very, very bottom were the dreamers, right? Different levels within business. And you've probably seen it before. We do an assessment to get you very, very clear on where you are in the mountain. But obviously the business masters, it's an easier reach for a business master to see themselves as potentially becoming that thought leader. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. It's close.
Yeah. And so what is the advantage to a business master following a thought leader versus, say, a dreamer?
For the business master, they're only a step away. So the next logical step of becoming a thought leader is right in front of them.
Perfect. But what about the solopreneur? Would you feel that a solopreneur can have the vision of becoming a thought leader?
Yes.
Yeah. Versus a dreamer, where a dreamer, it's just too far up the ladder. At least a solopreneur, at least someone partially up the ladder can have that feeling because they've at least felt it, right?
Yeah, because they've made progress.
Yeah. Now, question, should they be following the thought leader, or are they better off and better suited to follow the business master?
Follow the business master first.
Why is that?
Because the thought leader will be doing, how do I word this? So the thought leader will be doing this stuff that is natural, the natural skills of a business master. Yeah. So the solopreneur needs to master those skills first.
Yeah, you said it better than I was going to say. So thank you for that. Because I know when we do our assessment, I won't do it today because it'd take too much time. But if someone's ever interested, they can always just send one of us a message. But there's an assessment that identifies what level you're at whether you're the dreamer, solopreneur, business master, or the thought leader. And that's exactly it. The business master has a set of skills and tools and resources that the solopreneur does not have. And it's because of those skills, tools, and resources that the master has that allows them to become a thought leader. Now, I have seen people run up the mountain before, but the general rule is you're better to take one step at a time and follow the person ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
Which would mean the dreamer, in this particular case, is best to follow the person just ahead of them. Maybe it's a solopreneur, maybe it's not, but the person just ahead of them versus following the person right at the top. Is that something you agree with?
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, what I have noticed, and please let me, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What I have noticed is, especially at this level, right, I'm going to get the right color, this level right here is where I notice it the most. That level right there, they seem to have this little voice, or this self-sabotaging thought, and they are comparing themselves deep down, secretly, they are comparing themselves to the thought leader and going, I'm not there yet. Or sometimes they're even comparing themselves to the business master, going, I'm not there yet. Why should anybody listen to me? And the biggest problem they're having is they are forgetting that there is a whole group of people down here who need them, who need their support, who need their help, who need their guidance, who is close enough to actually feel what it is that they are going through and can easily relate. Not only easily relate, but the person up the ladder has just done what the dreamer needs to do. So rather than the or the second level comparing themselves to the thought leader and beating themselves up, feeling like they're not good enough, or they don't have the information, they don't have knowledge. And I don't know about you, but for most of my clients, a lot of the times when I work with clients who are on the lower levels, typically I work with business masters because it's a lot less little voice in the way. But whenever you're dealing with like a solopreneur, for example, they tend to where they tend to focus on is other solopreneurs or business masters. And they're either beating themselves up because they're not good enough, because they're comparing themselves to people who are ahead of them. Well, of course you're not there yet. You're not up the mountain yet. Keep going. Wait till you get to the summit. Then you can compare yourself to Elon Musk, right? When you get to the summit, then you can start doing that comparison. Until then, compare yourself to you and where you have been on the mountain. The other thing I've noticed is if you can get very clear on where you are on the mountain, and you can take away that ego, that's self-comparing, if instead you can realize that these people need your help. If you're a solopreneur, the dreamers need you to show them the path because you have just taken it. They can connect with you. They can relate with you. They don't feel as overwhelmed because it's not that as big of a reach of going up to the summit. But then the marketing business owners, they need to be supporting the solopreneurs and the individuals who are going up the mountain, just like the thought leaders need to be supporting the business masters. And by doing this together and working as a chain, then we all go up the mountain together. But I don't know about you, but like I said, with my clients, a lot of the times, the biggest holdup that's stopping them is they have not gotten very clear on where they are on the mountain. And the other thing they haven't gotten clear on is because they don't know where they are on the mountain, they also don't know to look back and see who's following them, because that's the people they can make the biggest difference in and help the most. And as they go up the mountain, the people behind them might change and adjust. And it's not that that's a bad thing. They're just one step behind. So the job is for me to look forward and see who's ahead of me and get my support, and look behind me and give my support. That way I'm both learning and teaching at the exact same time, and we all better at the outset. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that analogy because somebody I can't remember, somebody described it to me once, like we're all on an escalator.
Yeah.
And everybody holds a step of that escalator, and it's everybody's duty to help up the person that's below them onto the next step. And I've always loved that idea. So that really resonated with me.
Thank you. I'd say not only is it our duty to help them, But frankly, if we're looking at it purely from a business standpoint for a second, it's so much easier to run a business if you're helping the person right behind you instead of trying to help someone ahead of you or someone that's 50 feet behind you. You know, it's easier to just reach back and grab someone's hand who's right there, that is already looking at you going, please, I need your help. Right? It just makes for much easier business. And then the fact that the ethical side of it's your duty to help others because someone has helped you, that's a whole other thing I completely agree with. That's it for now. Thank you so much. Hope those of you watch this video in the future enjoy the analogy. And if, of course, I'm assuming we're going to post this online somewhere, leave a comment down below and we'll see you soon.